Good afternoon, everyone. 2022 has been an incredible, exciting year at Environics Analytics. It was this time last year when we decided to reimagine a new platform with ENVISION as the foundation. Environics Analytics has delivered analytical expertise in its purpose-built software ENVISION since 2009. ENVISION is our consumer insights and market intelligence platform that helps you understand today's dynamic marketplace. Last year, I used the analogy of Lego. I mentioned that we have all these new amazing Lego pieces. We were working on projects in regards to multi-dimensional big data, API connectors, the EA Vault, links to activation platforms, and new technology. And we want to use them with our classic Lego pieces: geodemography, built-in routines, sound methodologies, and our expertise in visualization. We knew that we had to build a platform that was integrated, and we wanted to focus on tools that let our users connect their insights directly into activation. The overall design and user experience was also key in the rebuild. We wanted to provide our users an innovative analytical experience, including advanced analytics, along with a completely new interface. Andrew and I are excited to give many of you, including our employees, our colleagues, a preview of some of that work that has begun.
Okay, here we have our existing ENVISION homepage. It's accessed by thousands of users across every industry. ENVISION empowers organizations to identify their best customers and prospects, analyze their behaviors, and uncover new opportunities to reach the right audience with the right message, at the right time, and even in the right place on their preferred device. With our investment in technology over the past year, we've had the opportunity to build a solid foundation to start creating our next generation platform, all with the mission of making people's lives better and you more successful through transformative data, insights, and analytics. What you're looking at now is the new ENVISION homepage. We're taking our original design of ENVISION and updating it for a more enhanced, dynamic digital experience with a focus on simplicity, convenience, and ease of use. On the homepage, we've identified 4 sections that I'd like to take you through now, starting with the sidebar. At first glance, it might look similar to the current version of ENVISION, but it has a host of new improvements that you're going to love. The biggest change is a brand new level of organization called projects. You can think of a project as a folder where you store everything you need to complete an analysis. This new sidebar will provide quick access to all your workspaces and projects, making navigation easier, especially when you have a large number of assets loaded into your account. Sorry. The new ENVISION will be more customizable than ever before, with pre-configured options based on your industry and a vast array of settings to provide fine-grained control over your account. Additionally, we'll be incorporating a suite of tools to help end users administer ENVISION within their organization. These tools will be used to manage users' access controls, policies, and many other aspects that are crucial to large organizations and enterprises. All these features and many more will be at your fingertips with the new ENVISION sidebar. The next item I'd like to talk about are workspaces. And the concept of workspaces already exists in current ENVISION. It's a way to manage and share data with your colleagues. As part of this redesign, though, we're completely reimagining how that works. Multiple users will be able to interact with each other inside of a workspace, sharing data, building maps and reports, and even annotating output. To take collaboration even further, we're very excited about the opportunity to integrate third-party applications like Microsoft Teams and Slack. allowing for centralized conversations between Envision and your existing corporate communication tools. Continuing to move down the sidebar, we come to projects. I've already mentioned that projects will be great for organizing your work, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once a project is created, you'll be able to rerun that project either as a one-off or in batch, automating the entire process you went through to create it. Here's an example to help illustrate what I mean. Let's pretend you work for a quick service restaurant with hundreds or maybe even thousands of locations across the country. Every year, when Environics releases new data, you have to rerun the same reports for each of those locations, requiring weeks, maybe even months of work. Our new project batching functionality will allow you to take last year's work and rerun the entire project using the most up-to-date data available. Once you've created all the output you want for a project, the next step is to share the results of your analysis with others. This is commonly achieved by downloading your results, maybe you email them to your colleagues, or you save them to a shared file system. This is a workflow where we see lots of room for improvement. Because of that, we're evaluating a variety of integration options like Microsoft SharePoint and Google Workspaces. These tools will allow you to easily share your projects with the rest of your company, making further collaboration with Envision non-users seamless. And while we've always acknowledged the importance of getting to insights quickly, we also acknowledge the importance of sharing your findings so that they can be acted upon. And for anyone in the audience who uses microsites and loves them, don't worry, they're still going to be there. We're just adding a few other ways to share it. Okay, so now we're over on the right-hand side of the homepage, and we have the recent reports and maps section. These links are populated automatically as you use the application and provide quick access to where you left off. Below your recent reports and maps section is the What's New section. Here you'll find information about newly released data and software enhancements, as well as report samples and industry use cases. So before I hand it back off to Teresa, it started as a few, now there's a little more than that, but things that I'm really excited about that are going to be part of the new enhanced software. The first one on that list is that we're completely overhauling Envision's front end and back end, so this is a technical thing. We're upgrading our tech stack using the best technologies available today, and by designing a cloud-native application and leveraging highly scalable technologies like Snowflake and ArcGIS Enterprise for Kubernetes, we can guarantee optimal performance under any load condition. The second enhancement I wanted to mention was single sign-on using enterprise credentials. What this means is that you'll be able to integrate your corporate identity platform with Envision, providing a seamless single sign-on experience. Your IT and compliance teams are going to love that because you can leverage their security and corporate policies, but you're going to love it even more because it's one less password to remember. Next on the list, we have disconnected editing. So disconnected editing is the ability to use Envision without an internet connection and then sync your changes back once internet becomes available. Here's an example where I think it could be very helpful. Often when prospecting new retail locations, it requires someone to drive out into the field and survey sites to better understand their unique characteristics. This could be anything from traffic flows, number of parking spots, signage, proximity to other types of retailers, the list goes on and on. With disconnected editing, a user could collect all of this information on a tablet without an internet connection, and then sync that data back into Envision when they arrive at their office. To take this concept one step further, the new collaboration features I talked about earlier could be used to notify a separate team of this incoming data. And once that team's notified, they could plug those location attributes into a site model and create sales forecasts for all these stores. So I think that would be a fantastic use. Okay. Next on the list is offline dashboarding. So we all know unexpected internet outages happen, and there's nothing worse if it's right before a big presentation. And the next version of ENVISION will support the ability to download dashboard data and store it locally in your browser, making it possible to present dashboards without an active internet connection. And finally, the last item I wanted to talk about is the platform of the future. As Teresa mentioned in the introduction, ENVISION is one of the many building blocks to our platform of the future. As we combine these building blocks, they allow us to build out advanced capabilities that weren't feasible even a short time ago. Paramount to the redesign of ENVISION is the ability to connect to our EA Vault. And if anyone needs a quick reminder, EA Vault is EA's clean room for blending first-party data and privacy-compliant ecosystem. As Jan mentioned this morning, by leveraging EA Vault capabilities, ENVISION users will be able to make their insights actionable and extend their analytics to activation, attribution, and ROI calculations. Now I'd like to pass it back to Teresa.
Now, let's get this party started. I was supposed to say that here. Let's get this party started. This is the ENVISION Analytical Launch Pad. It allows you to quickly discover core insights needed to answer your business questions. We've categorized workflows and reports developed over decades into 3 main sections. Market Insights is going to focus on the analysis of markets and trade areas around your current or prospective locations. Segmentation Analysis leverages the power of Prism to identify your most profitable customers and best prospects. You can create and personify your target audiences and develop strategies for cross-sell, acquisition, and retention planning. And finally, the activation and measurement tools let you put your analysis into action. This is where you're going to develop media planning strategies within your target markets and even down to the trade area level. You can also measure the results of your campaigns and refine strategies as needed. Each section contains quick links grouping common practices. You can seamlessly access the reports, maps, and processes your business objectives require. I want to start off by telling you that all the reporting and tools that you're used to running in the current system will be made in the new platform. We're going to run the 2 systems in parallel for a period of time, and we are going to be here the entire way to help you with that transition. We mentioned earlier that our goal was to provide our ENVISION users with an innovative analytical experience. To cope with bigger, more complex databases, we're introducing several new reports and workflows, raising the bar when it comes to analytics. Advanced analytics is helping companies improve decision-making and keeping pace with highly competitive, quick-changing markets. We want to offer prescriptive reports as much as possible. We are going to embed our best practices in all the math, and we will allow our users to take our report templates and customize them for their own business needs. This could be as simple as hiding rows and columns to swapping out entire categories of variables. Reports will be pre-populated with sample data. This will help you understand the individual concepts and how they fit together. All you need to do is replace the data with your own customer or sales data or data that you license from us. Reporting is dynamic and iterative. You can change data elements on the fly, and the reports will generate in real time. Many of the reports will be interactive. Some of them include pop-up cards with detailed information and links, and some of them include other links to tools and other insights. Finally, reports that contain charts, tables, maps will all be connected. As you change one element, all the visualizations will update accordingly. And we are going to include much more prescribed, embedded, dynamic maps where it makes sense. I want to walk you through an example of the new reporting framework under the segmentation analysis category. So this is our homepage, and I'm going to look at profiling. Before diving into this report, I want to call out that you can now activate digital audiences in analysis, export, print, and save without having to leave the page. Likewise, all the report content is editable using the sidebar. Profiling is one of the most popular workflows in ENVISION. In this example, I selected two variables from our ClickScapes product. This great database provides weekly reports of visits to thousands of websites and apps. I selected variables that include website visitors to Wayfair.ca and website visitors to Ikea.ca. While we're opting to look at website visitors in this scenario, this reporting framework that I'm going to show you is usable with your own data or with any of the data that you license from us. What you see here is our traditional profile bar chart. Some of you may be very familiar with this report, but for those of you who are not, it allows you to quickly see the lifestyle segments who exhibit a certain behavior at above, those are the bars projecting to the right, below, those are the bars projecting to the left, or hovering around the middle, those are people exhibiting that behavior at average rates. I mentioned earlier that the reports are editable, so you'll notice that there's simple things that you could do, for example, hide fields. Did that work? It's a live demo. And then we could do, I also wanted to show you the concept of a pop-up card. So there's pop-up cards wherever you see segmentation. And then there will be quick clicks. This happens to be our new Digital Prism Highlights tool. Or you can go and start to create a new profile. Come on. So I'm flipping through my profiles. That was Ikea. This is Wayfair. Now, I'm going to switch to what I would call a more innovative way of looking at the profile bar chart. I'm going to select the new horizontal view. First and foremost, I bet none of you thought we could fit 67 segments, and there are 67 there, on the same screen without zooming in 50%. Not only did we do that, we also included advanced filtering capabilities to more quickly see patterns in the data. When I select above average, you can see that these are mainly red, yellow, and orange bars representing urban, suburban segments, with more of them on the left-hand side of the chart. The Ikea.ca visitor tends to skew more affluent in this case. When I select below average, it's not surprising that these have a strong rural and town representation and some less affluent suburban segments as well. Now let's include a comparison profile. And this happens to be the Wayfair.ca profile. Jan, we finally got your fever line on the report. It only took us 16 years to get it. What we see immediately is that both Ikea.ca, so these are the segments towards the front end, and Wayfair.ca follow a similar trend among those more affluent urban and suburban segments on the left side of the screen. However, Ikea tends to have higher index values than Wayfair. While these prison segments visit both Ikea and Wayfair, they tend to have more of a strong affinity for Ikea. We also see a difference in behavior amongst the more affluent rural segments, with a higher likelihood of visiting Wayfair over Ikea. This could represent an opportunity for Ikea to ensure that their town and rural shoppers are aware of any pickup or drop-off delivery options available to them. At this point in the analysis, Ikea can also leverage their own sales data to help deepen insights within the same framework. For example, if they wanted to better understand actual and potential share, they can use their in-house sales data and compare it to the Ikea visitors. They could untangle the whole online versus in-store shopper using footfall traffic to measure the traffic to the store compared to the website. Or they can size the untapped potential of households using our household spend product to know how many dollars are available in the furniture category. You'll notice that there's also other visuals to help dive a little deeper into the understanding of these profiles. These are represented as tabs along the bottom. There's the quadrant chart, tables, and map. The quadrant chart visually plots two profiles relative to each other and allows for a quick illustration of the prism segments that are strong for both profiles, only for one or neither of the behaviors. Market size is represented by the size of the bubble. The larger the bubble, the larger the size of the market. In the top right, in red, we see those prism segments that visit both Ikea and Wayfair at above average rates, and that their relative indices are based on the positioning in the chart. Those in yellow are segments where Ikea is winning over Wayfair, and those in green are where Wayfair is winning over Ikea. It is possible to immerse even more deeply into a single profile using the index versus percent comp quadrant chart. With this view, you have quick access to those lifestyle types that are your core audiences. Those would be the ones in red. Those are both likely to visit Ikea.ca and represent a sizable portion of the customer base. Compared to the niche market in green, those are likely to engage with Ikea.ca, but they represent a much smaller portion of the customer base. For those more interested in the data, the tables provide you with all those details. In this case, it's sorted by quadrant. Finally, we embedded maps. Finally, with our embedded maps by Esri, we can take all this information and map it. So I talked about those distinct Wayfair and Ikea profiles. It allows for quick identification of neighborhoods with these different prism segments are found. Each of these quadrants is made up of a collection of postal codes that can be activated with a click of a button. So if you hit activate, you can seamlessly integrate these segments into your DSP for quick activation. You can also click to buy a list of emails or targeted connected TV. Activation can happen at any step of the analysis with the click of the mouse. This is just one example of how we're taking our traditional profile bar chart and elevating it to provide deeper insights.
Okay, before we wrap up, I wanted to leave you with a summary of some important topics that we think describe the essence of the new version of ENVISION. While the ENVISION rewrite is still in its early stages, we're working towards a beta release in early 2023, and although this first release will only contain a subset of the eventual functionality, it's a fantastic opportunity for us to get some real-world feedback. So if anyone in the audience is interested in being part of that beta version, please reach out and let us know. Teresa mentioned this earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate. We do plan on running both versions of ENVISION in parallel until a time when the new application supports all the functionality you expect. Once we do reach that point, your account teams will work with you to develop a custom migration plan. We hope you enjoyed this insider look and that you're just as excited about what's to come as we are.